Good morning, students. Welcome to part 4 of our chapter, Market Around Us. Let us see now the story that is provided to us on page 97 of my textbook because it is an old edition. Sujata and Kavita were sent to buy groceries from their neighborhood shop. This was the shop they usually went to. It was crowded today. The shop owner managed the shop herself with two helpers. When they managed to get into the shop, Sujata dictated a list to her. She in turn began asking her helps to weigh and pack the items. Meanwhile, Kavita looked around. On the top left shelf, there were different brands of detergent cakes. Another shelf had toothpaste, talcum powder, shampoo, hair oil. The different brands and different colors looked so attractive. On the floor lay a few sacks. It took almost 20 minutes to weigh and pack all the groceries. Then Sujata showed her notebook. The woman noted the amount of rupees 1550 in the notebook and gave it back. She also noted the amount in her big register. Then Sujata took the heavy bags out of the shop. Her family will pay for the purchases in the first week of next month. Why do you think Sujata carried a notebook? Do you think the system is useful or can there be any problems? Sujata carried a notebook because these are small shops which allow their customers credit time. That means they have the time to pay the money for the purchases that they are making. Do you think this system is useful? Uh, I guess yes, it is useful as the customer has a choice to pay later at the end of the month or at the end of a week, whatever the understanding is there between the shopkeeper and the customer. Can there be problems? Yes, there can be problems as well. There can be problems of accounting. There can be problems of understanding between them. Like, they have paid the money and it has not been registered or an incorrect amount has been entered and things like that. So problems can happen as well. Let's see the next question. What are the different kinds of shops that you find in your neighborhood? What do you purchase from them? This is an activity which I would like you to do by yourself and list out the kind of shops that you have in your neighborhood and what purchases that you do from there. Next question. Why are goods sold in permanent shops costlier than those sold in the weekly markets or by roadside hawkers? Normally, goods sold in permanent shops are costlier than those sold in the weekly markets or by roadside hawkers. Is that because these permanent shops have to incur some cost, some kind of electricity cost, and they have to pay wages to their workers as well. Like we saw in the case of Sujata, there were in the shop there were two helpers. So all these costs that are borne by the shopkeeper add up to the cost of the product, and that the customer needs to pay for. Hence the price of commodity, any kind of commodity, goes up, and we tend to pay higher amount in a permanent shop than in a roadside shop on a weekly market, because they do not have to incur such costs. They do not have to incur cost of electricity. Normally they have helpers in the shop, but they helpers in the market, but they are their own family members. They are not employing people from outside. They do not have to pay rent for having their shop over there. So all these things cut down the shop, do not add up to the cost of the commodity which the customer buys. The next story that we have is of Anzal Mall, is a five-floor shopping complex. Kavita and Sujata were enjoying going up and down a- in the lift. It seemed as if it was made of glass and they were able to see outside as they went up. It was fascinating to see so many different kinds of shops, such as the ice cream, the burger, pizza, and other food shops, shops full of home appliances, footwear, and leather items, as well as bookshops. While wandering about on the third floor, they entered a shop that was selling branded ready-made clothes. The security guard looked at them as if he wanted to stop them, but he did not say anything. They looked at some dresses and then looked at the price tag. None of them was less than 3,000 rupees, almost five times the weekly market price. Sujata whispered to Kavita, I will take you to another shop which has good quality ready-made clothes at more reasonable price. So here we know that the two girls have gone to a shopping complex where they find the price tags to be very high and almost 5 times the price of a weekly market. Here we can understand that so much of cost is incurred by these shops that they have to keep high prices to cover up the costs. The question that we have over there is, why do you think the guard wanted to stop Kavita and Sujata from entering the shop? What would you say if someone stops you from entering a shop in a market? Well, I feel Kavita and Sujata were stopped from entering the shop because the security guard was not sure whether they would buy goods from this shop. And I would say that I want to buy goods even if they are costlier. The first question that we have over here is, why do people not bargain in shops located in malls, whereas they bargain in weekly markets? People are unable to bargain in malls because in malls the price is fixed. In a weekly market, there are many shops. If shopkeeper will not bargain, then the customers will move to another shop. The next question is, why is a wholesale trader necessary? A wholesale trader is necessary because he is able to sell items at a very cheap rate and buys large amounts from the producer and supplies it to another buyer or consumer. Next, we have another story of Aftab, the wholesaler in the city. Aftab is one of the wholesale traders who purchases in bulk. His business starts at around 2 o'clock in the morning when vegetables reach the market. This is the time when the vegetable market or mandi starts buzzing with activity. The vegetables come in trucks, matadors, tractor, trolleys from farms both near and far. Soon the process of auction begins. Aftab participates in this auction and decides what he will buy. Today, for example, he bought 5 quintals of cauliflower, 10 quintals of onions. He has a shop in the market where he stores his vegetables that he has bought. From here, he sells to hawkers and shopkeepers who start coming to the market around 6 in the morning. They have to organize their purchases so that they can start their shop for the day around 10 in the morning. See, this is such a difficult job that Aftab has to get up 2 o'clock in the morning, go to the market, wait for the products to come in from various places in trucks and tractors. Then there's an auction carried out. Auction is nothing but that you bid for the highest, bid for what you are buying. That means you give your price, and the second one quotes another price, and then finally the highest bidder gets the product. Then Aftab has a shop where he stores all his vegetables in the market that he buys. From there, he sells it to the hawkers and shopkeepers who come to him at 6 in the morning so that they can set up their shops by 10 in the morning for consumers to come and buy. See, the first image shows us people in urban areas can enter market without stepping out of their homes via the internet. They use their credit cards to make online purchases. This is a common thing for us nowadays as we do a lot of shopping online. That means through websites who are able to cater to all our needs. We don't even need to pay them by cash. We can just give them a transfer of funds, or we can also just pay through credit cards and get the product delivered to our residences, to our houses, or wherever we need it. And we can also, through internet, we are also able to, if you want to gift something to a second party, we can also do that just by sitting at our home, just by pressing a few keys. The next image is of a car being put together in a factory. Now we don't manufacture the car by ourselves. The manufacturer of cars has factories where he will put into place all the parts of the car. We don't have to go to individual market and pick up the tire. We have to pick up the windscreen. We have to pick up the steering wheel and then put it together. So there are some markets where we do not venture into at all. but there are other people who have to go to those markets to make their products, which in turn we buy from them. The first image here we are seeing of a mall where we find expensive and branded goods. We have seen why the cost of goods is high in malls because of the cost that the shop owners have to bear for having a shop in a mall. The second image is of a responsible consumption and production, sustainable development goal. It is a new concept for you, which you will study in details in your later grades. But I will just give you a brief introduction to it, and I will send you a video on it, just trying to explain what is sustainable development goal. The Sustainable Development Goal is also a global goal which has been adopted by the countries of the world so that they can bring an end to poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. When we act in one area, it has an outcome in other areas, and development must be balanced. There should be a balance of development in social, economic, and environmental conditions. We are taking in too much from the earth and we are giving it back little less. So through this program, we are trying to ensure that the future generations do not have any issues at all. We are hearing nowadays that there's a lack of water in so many parts of the world. For example, in South Africa, we have seen the case. We have seen the same case in India as well. Now, what about the future generation then? Are we going to leave them to suffer? This program is aimed at trying to safeguard the planet, trying to bring about development in the planet, but through in a balanced way, without harming the resources of the planet and leaving nothing for the future generations.